All right, so today is Wednesday, October the 12th. We are going to go over the warm up. Okay, I'm going to finish modeling for you, solving functions. You're going to do a little bit of practice. Then I'm going to model average rate of change. That's the last topic for this unit, is finding your average rate of change. All right, that's the last topic for this particular unit, is finding the average rate of change. And that I'm going over today. Okay. We have Wednesday. Average rate of change is going to be in our homework. Okay, so I'll make sure to go over the homework before you leave. That'll be average rate of change. I'm going to pause to give you a chance to write. Please take out your planner so we can write our homework. All right, here we go. Don't forget that you should have written down your goals. We're on week 7 homework. If you watched the video yesterday, check it off. You completed the homework, check it off. Math 1. We have our homework. I'm going over the homework in class, so I don't need to make a homework video. You do need to make sure that you work on your interactive notebook if there's pages that are missing. So look over your interactive notebook. Okay, thank you. I'll pause for the call. All right, let's look at the warm-up. We're looking at Wednesday's warm-up, the third one. Don't cross them out just yet because I do want to go back and do some. All right, so here we go. Let's look at this one. All right, the mapping below represents points on a graph of function f. What is the domain? Okay. All right, so which one of these answers is going to be the domain for this function right here? What are our domain values? Did you choose A, B, C, or D? A is the correct answer. These are my domain, my x values. -5, 3, and 5. Okay. All right, it says this is the function. Function f is graph below. This is the line below. What is the range? We're looking at the smallest number on the y and the largest number on the y. What's the smallest number on the y? -4. What's the largest number? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is that 5? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Is that 6? Yeah, that's 6. All right, so let's see. Let's see what they say. All right, so we should have from -4 to what? To +6. And it should be y in the middle. They might have used x. It doesn't matter. The letter doesn't matter. Less than equal to, less than equal to. Are there any answers that are like that? No, then there's. Is it -3? It is -3. It is. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, y'all. All right, so which one of these inequalities? It is C. Okay. Anybody get that right on their own? Oh, good. Proud of y'all. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and put that up. Take out your interactive notebook. Anybody still copying? I moved that really quickly. All right. Notebook, please. We're going to finish this problem from yesterday. This was page 25. We're continuing page 25. We're solving f of x. We're continuing page 25, solving f of x. Write this out. All right, so here we're trying to find f of x or y. Remember, f of x and y is the same. How do we solve or find out what y is or f of 3 or f of x is? What do we have to do? How do you do that, though? X is equal to 3. Whatever number's in the parentheses, that's the value for x. So x here is 3. So what do we do with that? What's that called? We're replacing it. What's that called? Starts with an S. You replace something. What's that called? When I don't come to school, they put a what in my place? Substitute. So we're substituting, okay? So we are going to replace x with 3. So that's 2 times 3. We're substituting. Okay. Any questions about how we substitute? All right. Order of operations tells us to do what first? Very good. We're going to multiply. 2 times 3. What does that give us? 6. Plus 4 is 10. There are multiple ways to write our answer. Our answer is 10. We can write f of 3 is equal to 10. We can write y is equal to 10. What's another way that we could write our answer? Yes. Say again, baby. I'm sorry. No, you substitute 3 in for x. Okay. Anybody else? All right. What's another way to write your answer? Besides f of 3 is equal to 10, y is equal to 10, what's another way? 3 comma 10. 3 comma 10. You can write it as an ordered pair. Okay. Please write. I'm going to pause for the calls. Please write, and we're going to do another one. Number 2, we're going to use a different letter. We're going to solve h of 4 is equal to, let's do x squared minus 1. We'll pause to give you a chance to figure out the answer here. All right, so how do we solve for h of 4? What do we know? X is 4. What are we going to do to solve? What's substitute? So I have 4 squared minus 1. And sometimes you can just keep bringing this side down if you want to. Order of operations tells us to do what first here? Exponents. When we simplify our exponents, what do we get? 16 minus 1. And what does that give us? 15. So f, or not f, I'm so used to saying f, h of 4 is equal to 15. What's another way to write this? Y is equal to 15. What's another way to write this? 4 comma 15. When x is equal to 4, y is equal to 15. That's another way to write your answer. Any questions about that? Okay, I'm going to pause for the calls. Give us a chance to write. Some people still writing. Okay, let's do this one. Number 3. Okay. We're solving. Oops. We have g of x, okay, is equal to, let's do 7x plus 6. We're going to do 7x plus 6. And we got g of x. Let's make it equal to 3. Okay, so now, what is this telling me and what do I need to solve? Okay, so what is this telling me so far? Is it giving me the value for x or is it giving me the value for y? It's giving you y. What's y equal to here? is 3. Remember, g of x is the same as saying y. Okay, so I'm going to replace g of x with what number? So do you see right here is g of x? I'm going to replace y or g of x with 3. So we're going to replace it with 3. Bring down the equal. Now what are we looking for? What are we trying to figure out? We're trying to find out what x is equal to. Okay? What do we do to solve for x? We're going to subtract 6 on both sides. We subtract 6 on both sides. What does this give us here? That gives us -3. Bring down the equal. What does that give us over here? 7x. Good job. Now what are we going to do? Divide both sides by 7. Okay? This is going to give me a -3/7 is equal to what? X. Let me slide this up a little bit. Okay? All right, what's another way to write this answer? We got x is equal to this. What else? Ordered pair. What'd you say it was? What's our ordered pair going to be? -3/7, comma 3. This is another way to write it. Okay, and then you could write g of what's going to be in the parentheses? -3/7 is equal to what? No, 3. Okay, we'll pause for the cause. All right, so here in the other problems, it gave me the value for x. Okay, in this problem, it didn't give me the value for x. It gave me the value of y or g of x. So that's the difference between the two. Does that make sense? Okay. That's a very good question. Any other questions, y'all? Let me slide up. Okay. Anyone still copying? Nobody? All right. Don't see anybody writing, so move on. I'm going to do another one like this one. Let's use another. This is number 4. Let's use another letter. Solve. We're going to solve. We did F, G. Let's do W. Okay. Let's do 2x. Let's do +6. And W of x, let's make it equal to 18. Okay? See if you can do this one. I'm going to pause for the cause, give you a chance to think about it. Try your best, okay? Okay. All right, so any ideas about how to solve this? Let's first identify what the information did they give us and then what's missing. Does anybody know what they gave us? Yes. Very good. They gave you W of x is equal to 18. What's another way to say W of x? So we also know that y is equal to 18, or W of x, just like you said, is 18. What's missing though? What is it that we don't know? We don't know x. Okay, the number in the parentheses is missing. That's what we have to find. How do we figure out what x is? What are we going to do? Substitute, which is replaced by definition. What are we substituting? We're replacing the W of x with what number? 18. So now we can successfully solve for x. How do we solve for x here? Subtract 6. When we subtract 6 from both sides, what does that give us here? 12 equals what? Now what? Divide by 2. What's my answer? 6 is equal to x, or x is equal to 6, okay? What's another way to write the answer? Yes. You said W of 6 is equal to 18. Good. Okay. Any questions? What about another way? The ordered pair, which is? Any questions? All right. See if you can do number 5. Lord help me. Anyone copying this? I'm sorry. All right, 5. We're solving. What's another letter I haven't used already?
M.
Okay, M. M of x is equal to, let's do a negative 3x. Let's do plus, let's do 21. Let's make M of x, let's make it equal to 7. All right, pause for the calls. Give us a chance to work it out. All right. What information did they give us? Y, or M of what? X. So y is equal to 7 because y is the same as M of x. So we have to figure out what is? X. X. And you don't always have to use the letter X. Sometimes they might have N or what another number, but X is the most popular number to use. It's still domain. No matter what letter they use, it's still domain. Okay? It's still your X value. So we got to figure out what X is here. Okay, so how do we figure out what X is? What do we have to do? Substitute M of X with what?
7.
So we have 7 is equal to negative. Very good. How do we solve for X? What are we going to do? Minus 21 on both sides. What's 7 minus 21? Bring down the equal. What about this side? Negative 3x. And what are we going to do? Divide by negative 3. What's a negative divided by a negative? So we have positive 14 over 3, or you could change it to a decimal. Okay? How would I, or a mixed fraction, it's not wrong, okay? How would I write another way to write my answer? M of 14 over 3 equals 7. Okay, what's another way? 14 over 3. Very good. Any questions? Is everybody good? All right, so now we're moving on to the last topic of this. Okay, we're going to move on to the last topic. I'm going to pause real quickly so you can write this down. Let me know when you have it, babe. Page 26. Yeah, because this has lingered on long enough. It's time to get this unit out the way. Yes, it does. All right, here we go. Average rate of change. Guys, a couple things you need to know about average rate of change is this. Your average rate of change is like finding the slope of a line. They are synonyms. All right. So we're going to do slope first. The slope is the steepness of a line. Another word for slope is rate of change. The letter that we use to represent slope is M. I'm going to pause to give you a chance to write, and then we're going to talk about the different kinds of slope, how to calculate slope or the rate of change, okay? And we're going to do some examples. Yes, baby.
Why is slope M and
I don't know. S looks like a 5, I guess. I don't know. All right, there are 4 different kinds of slope. We're going to do 4 graphs. There are 4 kinds of slope. X-axis, y-axis, x-axis, y-axis, x-axis, y-axis, x-axis, y-axis. Okay? From left to right, as your x increases, and on all of these, of course, in every graph, x is always going to increase. Remember, that's your independent variable. It does not fluctuate. It's not going to go backwards in time. Okay? So as x increases, y increases. This is a positive slope. As x increases, y increases. This line has a positive slope. The number that would describe this slope is going to be a positive number. M would be positive because the line from left to right is going up. This is a positive slope. As x increases, y increases. This line has a positive slope. As x increases, y decreases. That means your line is going down. This line has what kind of slope? Negative slope. M would be a negative number. The slope for this line would be a negative number. Positive slope from left to right, the line is going up. Negative slope from left to right, the line is going down. The numbers start high and then they go low. That's a negative slope. The numbers start low on the x and the numbers start low on the y and it goes up. The next kind of slope, a flat line. A flat line, or what you would call a horizontal line. Horizontal lines have zero slope. There's no steepness to this line. Your M would be 0. Your M would equal to 0. It's a flat line. There's no steepness to this line. It lays flat. This is how I like to run on the treadmill. I like 0 slope on the treadmill. When you start getting a steep slope, I start sweating. Oh, Jesus. When is it over? Yeah, I do be contemplating when I get on a treadmill like that, contemplating about getting off. All right. This is 0 slope. A line that's straight up and down, a vertical line, has undefined slope. It is impossible to walk up a line that is like this. You climb it, but you wouldn't be able to walk it. This has undefined slope. Undefined slope. This is a vertical line. All vertical lines have undefined slope. All vertical lines have undefined slope. All horizontal lines have 0 slope.
So what kind of slope would that make this?
It wouldn't be because it goes up and then goes back down again. So you're only doing slope of straight lines. Notice how all these lines are straight. That's not a straight line. That's not linear. We wouldn't describe the slope of that whole line. Maybe part of the line we could, and another part of the line we could, but because it's not a perfectly straight line, we wouldn't. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, here we go. Formula for finding the slope. There are two formulas to calculate slope. One formula to calculate slope is rise over run. Y'all remember that from last year? Okay, well, never mind. I'm going to stop asking that question. That's why I say I'm stop asking that question. So we got rise over run as one of the formulas. The second formula we use to calculate slope is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. This is the formula for calculating slope, or I should say, or rate of change, because they are the same thing. They are synonyms. I'm going to give you an example. Take out your packet, homework packet, so that we can do some of the zoom in. How do I do that?
It's hard to make it too. Yeah.
Shh. We haven't gotten there yet. It's two y's. It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Shh. All right, here we go. When do you use rise over run? You use rise over run to find the slope or rate of change of a line. I put you. Used to find the slope or rate of change for lines. So if they give you a line, ask you to find the slope or rate of change of that line, this is when you use rise over run. And I'm going to give you an example. Pause to give you a chance to write. I still see some people writing. All right, here we go. So for a line, this is how this works. I'm going to draw a small coordinate plane. Okay, I'm going to find the slope or rate of change of this line. I'm going to put a point right here. I'm going to put a point and put a point up here. Okay. All right, watch me do this so you'll understand, because you'll have to do this in your homework. Please watch. Put your pencil down and watch so that you're not lost. Okay, you go back and write. You're going to use rise over run, okay? Your rise is how far you go up or down on the Y. Your run is how far you go left to right on the X. So you go up and down first, left, right, second, okay? So from one point to the next, from this point to this point, you're going to go up or down. How do you get from this point to this point? Going up or going down? Up. So going up means that's positive. You're going up 1, 2. So my top number is a positive 2 because I went up 2. Any questions about how I get a positive 2? If I would have went down 2, my top number would be what? Negative 2. Okay. All right. How far do I have to go over to get to this point? Look at it. We go over 1, 2. So since we're going to the right 2, My bottom number is positive or negative 2? Positive 2. Okay, what's 2 over 2? So my answer is going to be a positive 1. Even if I would have went backwards, I went down 2, my top number would be a negative 2. I went to the left 2, my bottom one number would be a negative 2. What's negative 2 divided by negative 2? It's still going to be a positive 1. So it doesn't matter which direction you go into. When you simplify it, your answer is still going to be the same. Please copy this down. This is rise over run. Negative 2, top number, bottom, both. Okay. Your rise over your run, your rise is up, down. Okay. If you go up, that's positive. If you go down, that's what? Does that make sense to you? Up, down. Your run, you run from left to right. When you go to the left, that's what? What do you think? Left would be what? Negative. Right would be what? Positive. Don't the numbers increase to the right? Numbers decrease to the left? All right. So look, from one point to the next, how do I get, Parker? How do I get from this point to this point? I got to do up first. Top number is up, down. Bottom number is left, right. How far do I go up to get to this point? 2. So it's positive 2 on the top. 1, 2. How far do I go over using the grid lines to get to that point? Positive 2 on the bottom. That's it. Rise over it. That's it. All right, let's look at this one. When do I use this, Miss Reyes? When you are given 2 points. Suppose I tell you to find the rate of change or slope between 2 points. Maybe the 2 points 2 comma negative 1 and 5 comma 6. Let's find the rate of change between those 2 points. Go ahead and write it. I'll show you how to do it. I didn't know this was here. All right. Let's label the 2 points. The first number is my x. The second number is my y. The first number is x. The second number is y. Any questions about how to label points? I got 2 points. So this first point is x1, y1. The second point is x2, y2. Any questions about labeling it? This is my first point. This is my second point. You okay with that? So now you have to substitute these numbers into this formula to get your answer. So we got m is equal to what minus what on the top? 6. Remember, it's y2 minus y1. So it's 6 minus what? 6 minus what? Sorry, y'all. No. Negative 1, somebody said. Good. Okay, this is negative 1. Okay. Negative is, minus is part of the formula. Okay. All right, on the bottom, what are we subtracting on the bottom? 5 minus 2. Okay. So what does this give me on the top? What's 6 minus a negative 1? No. 7. What is 5 minus 2? And this is my answer. Just make sure it's reduced. You can write it as a decimal if you want. You don't have to. Questions, comments, or concerns? See if you can do this one. Here we go. X1, Y1, X2, Y2. What do we subtract on the top? 0 minus 2. Bottom? Negative 3 minus 4. What does that give you on the top? Negative 2. Bottom. Negative 7. Negative divided by negative? Positive 2 over 7. Just make sure it's reduced. That's it. All right, put your calculators back so we can go. Pick up your cell phone.